I received word actually right before I came over here. Our office, as Rob said, is here in South Florida. It's right on the border of Fort Lauderdale and Pompano. And it's actually right on I-95. For those of you that don't know 95, it's one of the busiest corridors in North America, freeway. And I received word that there was a high-speed chase this afternoon. And the car was going at super high speeds and was getting away, I guess, from the police, the pursuers, and came off of the side, the shoulder of the road to get through the traffic, came sliding through the grass on the side, went through the fence that bordered our property, crashed through the trees, and smashed into 3 cars on our property right before I came over here. And they actually found that the trunk was filled with shotguns. And so we have a school in our building. Obviously, people were concerned. What does this mean? What kind of world do we live in that something like this could even happen here in South Florida? So that's the news I got. Obviously, I was concerned what happened and was asking all these questions. We're not sure yet. We'll let you know. They let me know a little while later what actually happened. It actually was an 80-year-old man who had a seizure and went through, and it wasn't shotguns in his trunk, but actually his walker. So the actual story didn't quite correspond with the reality, and so are the sensational story that I heard. Such is the world we live in. What really happened? And it's kind of like that old game we used to play of telephone, where you whisper it in one person's ear, and by the time it got to the end of the row, it was a completely different story. Well, that is the internet on steroids of how communication is happening in our world today. So when we hear next generation, and we think about what we see in the media and what we hear in the news, but oftentimes even what we hear in our neighborhoods or even in our own families, some of the stories that we hear about this generation are very sensational. And they seem in many ways like very dangerous stories, which they are.